Ed Archer's only played 3 ODIs, but that was a pretty straightforward choice in the end, wasn't it?
I think everyone can see with Jofra Archer that he brings special things to a cricket field: pace, dynamism, athleticism. I think there was a broad understanding that he was going to be part of our squad as soon as we'd seen what he can do. So yes, there was a pretty clear consensus there.
David Willey's obviously unfortunate. How did he take the news?
David Willey was extremely unfortunate. I think the first thing to say there is that there were more people who deserved places in the squad than there were places available. So everyone felt very comfortable with all 17, but it comes down to a couple of people had to miss out, and we had to name a 15. David Willey was extremely unfortunate. He's been a central part of this England white ball side. His performances have been strong. He has many strengths as a cricketer and as a man. It was very unfortunate that he missed out, but someone had to.
And how did he take it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's an outstanding man, and true to form, he was extremely polite, dignified, and disappointed. And that's as you would expect it, and as you would want it to be. But yeah, he understood the complexity and the difficulty of the decision. Yeah, it's a balance issue, isn't it? I mean, there are extremely nuanced decisions and difficult decisions. It's depending really on the needs of the balance. You know, you could go more towards a top order batter who also is a handy bowler, which would be Joe Denley, or you could go more towards someone whose primary role has been as a spinner, who's also a handy batsman in Liam Dawson. So, what eventuality or what risk are you trying to cover? You've got your sort of likely starting 11, and then who would come into that in what eventuality? Now, one factor is Adil Rashid's got a shoulder niggle. We expect he'll be fine and will play a full and good role in the whole tournament. But there's just a slight tend now towards having that spin bowling cover from someone who's a bit more of a spinner, even though he's also a handy batter, rather than the top order reserve or batting reserve, who's also a handy bowler. Always you're just looking at very small, nuanced, balanced questions. Could have been Denley, could have been Dawson. We were comfortable with Denley in the squad for the white ball games at the start of the season. We're also comfortable with Liam Dawson, who was in the side in Sri Lanka and is a very good white ball player. Well, David's been told, as you would expect in international sport, in sport, whatever level, things can change very quickly. Injuries happen, illness happens, and those players who've missed out in David Willey and Joe Denley, they may yet play a part in the World Cup. And Trevor and Owen said that, I think, yesterday, and that's clear. And it would only be sensible that they remain as ready as possible. Absolutely. I mean, Joe also disappointed as you would be, but very understanding. He understands exactly the conversation we're having now. He has a very clear understanding of himself as a cricketer. There were two possibilities for Joe Denley. One was he was in the World Cup squad. The other is he goes back to Kent and plays 4-day cricket, has an opportunity to focus on that side of his game at the start of a very exciting summer. So he understands that. If sport was certain and you could predict before the game what was going to happen, no one would come through the turnstiles and watch. It's the uncertainty that makes sport the magical spectacle that it is. So England arrive at the World Cup in good shape, good preparation, good squad, good leadership, good captain, good track record as number one in the world. But there's always the question then, doing the business in the tournament, and they're very excited about doing that.
We'll take two more.
I like to keep selection very, very simple. What squad gives England the best chance of playing well in the games of cricket coming up? That's what we've been focusing on. And of course, as a happy byproduct of that, if the team plays well, the legacy will be strong. But to be honest, we like to keep it very, very simple. What's the best squad we can produce? And we feel comfortable with the squad we have.